Hello everyone, this is Miles coming at you with another I Am review. This time we are reviewing the so hyped up, Legion, FlipEars Legion. As some of you know, I got this during CanJam last week. Had an amazing experience, listened to a lot of fantastic in-ears, and I happened to grab this because it stood out to me and what it presented something really unique. I have never experienced a bone conductor like, vibrating in my ear. I had a lot of, more expensive IAMs like the Mist Mark II with the bone conduction, and I would never feel the vibration or any effect. This is a set that goes for 850, comes from FlipEars. The man behind this brand is Aries. Had the pleasure of meeting this man. Very, very friendly guy. Loved everything about him and the way he carried himself. Well spoken. And I've tried most of their line. I think this is the one that I liked, more, and there was like a prototype that I actually liked. Essentially, the other IAMs are good, but it's just like the tuning is not for me. So this set uses 3 drivers. So essentially, it has a dynamic driver, it has a bone conductor, and it has a spark tweeter for highs, and that's what they call it. And it's an amazing IAM. So in terms of the build quality, you get in a better case. This is not the original case that it comes with it. Actually, this is the CanJam case that was given to us once we attended CanJam. As you see, this is the shell stock cable, which looks good, matching the face plates. And I think these are the Baroque ear tips, which comes, with it. Shells feel amazing, they fit good. And yes, they are large, but they're actually, they have like an athletic build where they go shoved in without like causing any discomfort. So let's get into it. I'm not gonna make this review very long since I've listened to this IAM quite enough, where I made sure that the drivers weren't in. Essentially, this is a very interesting, take on bassy IAM, because as you know, I'm a bass head and I have always, bassy IAMs have always grabbed my attention, and I have experience with IAMs like the Scarlett Mini, the Deuce, the Vanguard Zenzap, for audio on 6, for audio Xenon 6. So I basically love a lot of, elevated bass shelf, and this IAM quite have that. Looking at the graph, you would probably don't like, it doesn't seem that it has a lot of bass comparing to the up or different IAMs, but actually it does have a lot of bass and probably a lot of highs energy, but you don't get fatigued because of the tuning and because of how much bass it has. I think it balances it out. Essentially, the sound is great, and I think it's more of a specialist set. So this is for people who want to listen to hip hop, EDM. It's very engaging listen. These shells, once you power them up and you crank up the volume, it will vibrate into your ears, and it will feel awesome, because I haven't had anything do that like this set. It's just like once it vibrates into your ear and you feel that bass, very fantastic experience, and I think is very unique. Essentially, I liked it a lot during CanJam, and when I tried it at the Zeppelin store, I was so blown away. And it's one of these IAMs that just like when you're hearing it for the first time, it takes your breath away. You'll be like, this is the greatest thing ever. But of course, it's not perfect. Once I took it home with me, listened to it in a flight back home, and trying to compare it to different sets, it has some issues for me. And it's not the elevated bass, but the mids and how the vocal sound. I'm not a vocal person in general. I don't really gravitate toward like, forward vocals, although I have lots of sets that do vocal very well, like the had the Gaia before that had, forwarded upper mid range where it presented the vocals very forward, male and female vocals. I have the RN6, which does the same thing, has great vocals and has some weight behind the upper mid range where the vocals shine. So I know what good vocals sound like, and I have even cheaper IAMs like the Warner, which is a vocal centric set, sounding amazing. So when the vocals sound off or they're masked a little bit because of the bass elevation, I did notice it on this set, maybe in different sets, but this set was noticeably, you could notice like that the vocals are not the best, and also it hurts the mids where you're listening to some guitars and songs and you're not getting the best, separation between, the vocalist and like smaller details and the instrument. So, and comparing this set to things like the up will probably have better, like, separation through the mids, and it's a more of an all-rounder set, and will have also better vocals. For bass, I cannot remember for sure, but the up is like used to be a benchmark for bass for IAMs that are like 600 or below 1000. So, and I think this is a better set because this is more engaging, more unique, and it just presents different sound. The up is more of a U-shaped, sound signature, like that. It's natural and bass boosted. So this set would be much more different. It's just like presents music in a different way, where it's just super engaging, super fun, and it's just different, and comparing it to the Origin, I think the Origin would be essentially the better set because it has better mids and better resolution, and the way it presents things is just different. But I didn't like that set because I found it a little bit boring. There's nothing stood out to me. It sounds good, everything is good, mids are great, and vocals are good, and everything good with the Theo Audio Origin. It's just like didn't feel anything special. It's like, okay, you're U-shaped with bass elevation, and yeah. So I feel like this is the new set or new benchmark, if you will, around 1000. Even comparing it to things like the Scarlett Mini will rumble so deep, man, so deep. But like, essentially, once you get over that, deep and sub bass that it has, I don't think there is much you're getting. And honestly, I don't feel like the Scarlett Mini is really worth the price and that upgraded cable. But it's a fantastic set. It's small, it vibrates, but not as strong as this set. And I would say this is a better set because it just has more impact than the Scarlett Mini. The Scarlett Mini is mostly on the thinner like side. It's just sound softer, that there is no impact through the mid bass, and it's kind of lighter. But this IAM here is giving you more than that. And if we were to compare, the Deuce is probably one of my favorite bassy IAMs as of recent. It's immensely, like, it's a whole lot cheaper than set like the Legion. Legion is like 850, the Deuce is like 260, 250. And the Deuce does a lot of great things. Essentially, it has great vocals, great mids, great separation, probably not the best resolution and details, but essentially what you're getting once you amp it up and give it the power that it needs, it will shine and it will give you something that you really would enjoy. If you're a bass head, I think is one of the greatest sets, or one of the best sets, in the price bracket. I don't think anything could, fight with that. Given I haven't listened to everything in that price bracket, but, seeing how the reviews are going and what other reviewers comparing, I think it's safe to say it's a good set around the 250, 500, range. I prefer the Deuce over the Legion, to be honest with you, because I feel like the Deuce has the bass, has the fun factor and everything. And you could use it more as an all-rounder than, this set over here. So I feel like this set is more of a specialist. Once I put like some guitar songs and vocalist, songwriter stuff, it's just, you see, it's a little bit lacking. And I'm not shaming this because it was marketed towards basshead and it was made for a specific genre. So it's unreasonable to, critique every IM that is, being built for, let's say, specifically for bass, and you critique it as it's not doing an all-rounder type of music very well. So for me, I think this IM is fine. The only issue, minor issue maybe for some, is the vocals and the mids a little bit, like needed a little bit of breathability through the mids to separate a little bit more and give you more of holographic image and more immersive, sound. So other than that, I feel like it's a good IM, to be honest with you. And I'm not really sure if I could recommend this, nor I don't want to hype it. So maybe reading more reviews of this or watching more reviews will be a better bet for you, or you buy, a used set. But for me, I feel like it's worth it for the price. It's definitely presenting something different. And it's just, for me personally, I have a lot of IMs that it does like similar risky stuff like the Xenon 6, where it would slam, it would give you the highs, it would give you the vocals and everything and resolution. So that's why I feel like, and the Xenon 6 probably almost like 4K. This is like, 850, so it's not comparable, but you get that hint. So for me, probably I would want to keep the things that I would want to use the most. But yeah, if you have any specific questions, let me know. FlipEars Legion, Aries, I think you've done it, brother. Very great IM. And I think a lot of people would essentially enjoy this who are looking for an engaging sound for hip hop, for, basic dominated genres like EDM, reggaeton, things that, have crazy low end. I think this is like more of a club listening experience. But yeah, man, this is my review and I'm out.